Awesome. We're back. Perfect. Hey, how you doing, buddy? How's everything?
Not bad.
Yeah. I'm just gonna check these scenes out, make sure we're all good. Definitely got a couple things, that are I sort of definitely want to talk about. A couple things that are definitely on my mind. Otherwise, you're welcome to just pop off about whatever you want to talk about, man. And also, if I'm like digging in too deep, if I'm too curious about something, just stop me or whatever. This is supposed to be a chill chat and whatnot. But thank you so much for being with me. I really appreciate you making time for me right now, because of everything, considering everything that's going on right now. You were on. Let's just dig right in. You were on RT. I'm sorry. You were on a Redacted Tonight, Lee Camp's show. I'm not really sure how to put this. You do comedy. Hold on. Let's just start off. Let's just let people figure out who you are in case they don't know who you are, Anders. Why don't you give yourself the intro? I've done a little bit there. I describe you, I think, as a comedian. You're also on Pod Damn America with Jake Flores and Alex Patak. Is that how you say the name?
Yes.
I had Jake on a couple weeks ago. We had a good time. It's really good. Again, thank you for being with me. I guess I got to get Alex on, and we'll have Pokemon to your podcast, which is always a good thing.
Yeah.
What else should people know about you? Hit us up.
Well, that's a great question. I'm on Pod Damn America. We've been doing that about, almost 4 years at this point. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. And started on Redacted Tonight in September 2019. Been going for a few years. And what else about me? Comedian. Started comedy in New York City, which is, for better or worse, so a very ill-advised place to start comedy.
Yeah.
And I live in DC now. Most likely will be returning to New York City, the scene of the crime, with my starting comedy in a little over a month. 2 months almost. Probably in May. I'll be back. Not 100% sure, but it's looking like that. Yeah.
Hoping to get back into doing stand-up in New York City, you're saying, yeah?
Yeah, and continuing to do Pod Damn and looking, couple other irons in the fire. So that's my favorite city. No offense, Chicago. We'll see. We'll see what the future holds.
Okay.
I'm cautiously pessimistic about what to do next. So, but there's it's a wide world with many things going on.
Yeah. You're joining me on Twitch today. Are you very familiar with Twitch? Have you been on the Twitch a lot?
Yeah. If folks are interested, we actually have a Pod Damn America Twitch, which we haven't been using lately. But now that I am out of the JOB, I will be doing Twitch more. So check out twitch.com/PodDamnAmerica.
Amazing. I want to offer my support and help. Please let me know how I can be of assistance, and I'll be there for you. I often have offered my time for free for comrades, especially getting into the Twitch game. I've just I've got a lot to share. Okay.
Good.
So let's, if you don't mind, I'm super curious, and stop me if I'm being too curious.
Sure.
I'm super curious about Redacted Tonight.
Okay.
What the fuck happened? Why was it shut down? As I understand, RT America was just like, they just shuttered everything overnight. Bada bing, bada boom.
Yes.
I don't know, something in Russian. Das Vidanya. I don't know what they say. I literally don't know any Russian things.
What does that mean again, Das Vidanya?
I don't even know.
Das Vidanya. I've heard it before, but I don't know what it means.
Okay, so someone in chat maybe can help me out. But what happened? Why did that happen? Why did they pull off Redacted Tonight? You were all doing really good things there. I'm really fucking heartbroken to hear about this. Were y'all like sanctioned into the ground? Like, what the fuck happened? Let's go there.
So that may have played a role. It's unclear exactly what the nail in the coffin was, but
so it means goodbye. By the way, I actually nailed it. It was just like in my consciousness. You love to see it.
Okay. I only know one term in Russian, and it's from. I grew up with a Russian friend, and he taught us how to say "you smell like shit."
Say it again. Say it again.
Which I'm probably butchering, but
that's great.
And I've heard that that's not even that good of an insult. Some people have said that's like for babies, which would make sense because he was like 7.
Fair. All right.
So, yeah, RT America was, as of just a couple weeks ago, was full speed ahead. You know, we were doing fine, and then we lost a fair amount of employees. Oddly enough, it was a lot of crew and producers. There were not that many on-air people that left that I'm aware of. There may have been some, but I don't know too many. So a week ago yesterday, we couldn't make it to air just because we just didn't have enough people. So that was a big part of it. And also, we were getting deplatformed, for lack of a better term. DirecTV stopped using us, and we were basically close to being completely off the air in the US and the EU, where I believe we broadcast as well. We were off the air there because of EU rules.
Wow.
So the sanctions may have played a role as well. But I think it was a combination of, those 3 things: just losing staff and having trouble replacing people in a pinch, and not having enough places to really air, and then the sanctions and international pressure. I don't know the details behind that one. I wasn't privy to that stuff, but I would not be surprised if that played a big role as well.
Do you ever think you'd be in the middle of something like this?
No. Yeah, when I started comedy, I didn't think I would be injected into like a geopolitical conflict. Not that I'm like super a major player in this, but I didn't think my career would be affected by this directly.
Oh my gosh. It's just honestly a little mind-blowing for me, just wrapping my head around this.
Yeah.
I don't know. Wow.
It's weird.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, it seemed like we were gonna stick it out. I got to RT after Russiagate, but that had been kind of an issue. There had been the DOJ, I think, had made the network register as like foreign agents and stuff.
What?
Yeah. Because it is state media, more or less. So.
Wow.
But by the time I got that stuff had kind of blown over, the Mueller investigation and come back. And so it was mostly low key on that front for most of my time there until, the last few weeks, when at first it seemed, people were paying a lot of attention to the Ukrainian border with Russia and of course, the people I was listening to were normally informed on that stuff were like, there's no way he's going to invade. And they happened to be wrong. And so was I. So that was an unpleasant surprise.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, for sure. No one's blaming you. Yeah.
Yeah. But here we are.
Yeah. Well, what do you think? Does that take us to the angle now on censorship here? You know, like this is. We were talking. I don't know. There was a whole Joe Rogan discourse a couple weeks back, a month or so back. Like, oh my God, is it censorship if Spotify decides to pull Joe Rogan off their own platform? Like now we're looking at fucking sanctions pulling off like literally like viewpoints that are alternative to the U.S. imperialist viewpoint. Excuse me, my mouth. I don't know what happened there. Like it's just like we don't get much. We're stuck here. I'm here in the imperial core, you know, as they say. What do I get to try to figure out what's happening in the world? Not fucking much. And they just took away RT America. In addition to a couple other things, I don't know if you know Brian Berletic. He does New Atlas. He was pulled off Twitter. What else am I trying to think of? I've got a small list of things. Of course, it was RT was banned in Europe. The whole YouTube, you can't even find it there. We can at least still watch the. I was told
We're on
so.
YouTube now?
Yeah, I was told in Europe.
Europe, okay.
We could still access it here for now, right? But it's just like when does the other shoe drop? And is this sort of the beginning of us seeing more, you know, of a new chapter of censorship of anti-imperialist voices, literally here in the imperial core?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I think this stuff isn't super new and is not as honestly not as extreme yet as it was even like 100 years ago, 100 years plus with the First World War, where people were just thrown in jail in America for speaking out against the war and being anti-imperialist and socialist. But a lot of that legal infrastructure is still around. You know, the Espionage Act is still around. Yeah, I again don't know that RT went off the air specifically because of like censorship or sanctions. So I want to be careful there. But in general, you know, war is when this stuff tends to have a chilling effect on speech. And, you know, you can look at the way people are dismissing, you know, anybody who raises the questions about NATO as, you know, Putin apologists and stuff. And, you know, I think it's a fair question to ask me what I think of Putin or people at RT. But just anybody who raises like, what are we doing in NATO? How could this have been avoided? What's a way out of this? Anyone who says that is being smeared as a Putinist or Putin apologist. And that's, I think, a scary thing.
It's just so boring. It's so exhausting and lazy at this point. Like, come on, you can also see the seeds of that discourse, that rhetoric being planted years ago. And like, I'm gonna be honest, I've not had any fucking clue what's been going on in Ukraine and with Russia and with NATO. I'm coming to a lot of this stuff very green. I've been fortunate that I found like good resources to help guide me through this, because it's a fucking nightmare trying to like figure things out, you know, with the whole disgusting media that we have. Anyways, I interrupted you and I want to let you continue. I apologize.
No.
Yeah.
I think I was finished with that tear.
So it just feels like it's not like it is hard. It is very hard to navigate through this media landscape for whatever, you know, however we want to put that. It's hard to figure out what's going on, even if you just pull up YouTube and try to figure things out that way. It's very easy to get lost. I've been fortunate that, I'll be honest, I found like the Gravel Institute video. Have you seen that one? They seem to never miss. Like that one really set me on a good path. And I found a couple other things. Perhaps I don't know if you were watching me beforehand. I've been watching a lot of Breakthrough News. They seem to do good stuff. I've really been liking them. Guy's name's Brian Becker, and they got Eugene Puryear. They seem to be knocking it out of the park.
They're on Sputnik Radio, which is like sort of a sister of RT, and as far as I know, they have not been. They haven't shut down yet. Yet.
Okay.
I say yet like it's inevitable. Hopefully they won't get shut down.
I'm like literally. That's like something I'm like literally tracking. I'm nervous about this. I'd love to be wrong. These are some things we were taking bets. What kind of tea you got over there? Hey.
This is buckle up because this is a crazy one. It's matcha turmeric chili tea.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Are you into these wild teas?
A little bit, yeah. This one I was sent by my girlfriend to get matcha, and I got this, and she doesn't drink it because she was like, "That's too weird." So I have it to myself.
All right, all right. That's wild. Do you sweeten it with honey, something like that?
No, I'm just drinking this straight.
Nice. Love to hear it.
When I put kratom in my tea, then I'll sweeten it with stevia. But
yeah,
too early in the day for kratom.
I see. A lot of comedians love that kratom. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Help me understand that. Hold my hand through that real quick, and then we'll circle back maybe.
Yeah, so kratom is like a plant from the South Pacific. It's a tea, and you can get it crushed up in powder form. That's how I take it, and I just mix it in tea or sometimes juice, and it's euphoria-inducing. So it opens up your delta receptors,
all right,
which is something I don't exactly know what that means, but it's been like sort of a replacement for alcohol for me. It's
okay.
It's good stuff.
Very good. Okay, let's let me try to keep wrapping my head around this whole thing here, and maybe you can hold my hand through some things. I don't have any specific questions off the top of my head, but circling back, Redacted Tonight, part of RT America, a lot of other really good shows are off the air because of that, and that's quite disappointing. Not just Redacted Tonight, which of course I'm a big fan of y'all, and I hope every one of y'all land on your feet.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? Because I'm like fucking thirsty for that alternative viewpoint as I'm trying to desperately navigate this media landscape, and now it's gone. Now this resource is gone, and that's fucking sad. And we should all be alarmed by this to a certain extent, in proportion to everything else that's going on. Okay. How about this? Let's talk about Nazis, Anders. And we had another question. Is Anders short for Anderson? Because someone asked if they said it sounds Norse, and I don't know. That's a question from chat. Feel free to field that.
It is Norse. It's not short for Anderson, though.
Okay.
Anderson, right. I don't know how Norse that is, actually.
Okay. Very good.
Anders is definitely Norse, but I don't think Anderson Cooper is of Nordic extraction.
All right, chat. Let me know if you have any other deep questions for Anders. We're doing a great job. Stop embarrassing me, by the way. Okay. Okay. So another thing that will get you called a Putin apologist is just identifying that that there are Nazis that exist in Ukraine. Not everyone in Ukraine's a Nazi. The whole military isn't Nazis. The whole government isn't Nazis. It is very nationalistic, but there also are Nazis there. And it does seem to me that certain people will get more upset at you or at someone if they are mentioning that the fact of the Nazis. Then it seems like they're more upset at you for mentioning it than the actual Nazis themselves for existing. And then they call you a Putin apologist, and then it's just what is the state of the discourse? What do you think about that?
Right, just the mere mention of the Azov battalion is, that's a Putin talking point. And of course, it goes without saying, he's exaggerating the extent to which Nazis have influence in Ukraine, and how much he actually cares about Nazism, because as people are not reluctant to point out, there's a Nazi problem in Russia as well. But the U.S. is not funding Nazis in Russia, which is, I think, is the main point that we keep repeating here, and it gets sort of waved away. And one of the rejoinders is always well, look at how much popular legitimacy right sector has, which is a faction that the U.S. sort of helped back. I don't know how direct we were involved in right sector. I think we were in 2014, the Maidan situation. But people will say, "Oh, they don't have any seats in the parliament." Well,
What a
that
weird
doesn't mean
argument.
we're not funding them.
Yeah.
That's the issue, is that they're backed by the United States, and that's causing issues. There are a lot of cases these groups are armed. Doesn't mean they're super popular with all Ukrainians, but we are giving them money, and that's a problem.
Yeah.
And that sort of thing tends to bite us in the butt. It's this stuff writes itself with people making the Mujahideen comparison, right? It is exactly like that, right? We're funding a group that sort of on our side for now, and in the future that could come to bite us in the tuchus.
Yeah, maybe you'll remember this classic CIA tweet. Stinger missiles supplied by the United States gave Afghan guerrillas, generally known as the Mujahideen, the brave fighters of the Mujahideen, if I may add, the ability to destroy the dreaded Mi-24D helicopter gunships deployed by the Soviets to enforce their control over Afghanistan. Now, history doesn't repeat, but it goddamn sure does rhyme. And of course, if I can pull up the tweet really quickly, if I can find it. I was literally, Anders, I was talking yesterday about this picture of a room full of Azov battalion guys getting trained on how to use N-laws. Not in-laws, but N-laws. That's not funny. And we could talk about how to make jokes about war and how to do that responsibly soon. But sorry, I hit the wrong button here. I was literally talking about this picture of a room full of Nazis. There's two foreground elements. Number one, the N-law itself, the anti-tank fucking rocket launcher. And then the other foreground element is the Nazi Azov battalion fucking badge itself. It's incredible. Anyways, you got a room full of Nazis right there. Let's just put it that way, right? And this is allegedly instructor from NATO teaching them how to use these anti-tank rocket launchers. Okay. Pretty much everyone.
I would like one of those to use on my in-laws. Bugs. Tell you that much.
Yeah, you got him. I love it. It's just like a classic riff, a classic joke. Killing the in-laws. Okay, but okay. So I literally had someone in chat go, Dan, and this is almost a direct quote. Dan, there aren't as many Nazis as you see in Ukraine. Like, what kind of fucking Nazi Jedi mind trick is that, Anders? Like, first of all, how many do I see? First of all, there's a room full of them. It's just like, what is going on here? And then you can, of course, it's almost like it was scripted. Of course, their argument elevated to, well, sometimes in time of war, you find yourself partnering with people you might not want. They were literally trying to say, hey, it's okay to partner with Nazis. What the fuck is going on, Anders, with people's brain? They're getting melted to fucking mush, and they're arguing for working with Nazis. I'm not making it up. It's like literally what's happening. What do you think, buddy?
Right. I mean, it's that line of like, sometimes in war you have to make alliance with people to fight the greater enemy. Well, what is the greater enemy here? Because, in the lifetime of several people who are still alive, we allied with the Soviet Union, which was like for a generation just a blood enemy of the United States. And who did we ally with them against? The faction that we all agreed was the greater evil, and that was Nazism, German fascism. So if that's coming back again, then is Putin really the greater evil? I certainly don't think he's good, but is this going to really end in anything good? To put a simplistic button on it, like,
I can't believe you just said that, Anders. When you go to cash your check from the First Bank of Moscow, it's totally going to bounce now. Dude, you shouldn't have said that. All right, go on.
That's a good point. Yeah. Right. The rubles are degrading quickly, so I better ditch that anyway. But yeah, I mean, we fought Nazis in World War II. I don't know what we expect to happen with these guys. But yeah, that to me is like it's just kind of amazing in American history. That's like the one unifying thing where, you know, socialists, communists, liberals, conservatives all agree. German fascists, Nazis, broadly construed, are the scum of the earth. That is the most dangerous faction to sort of take control of any territory in the world. And that is the greater evil. Of course, there were American right-wingers who thought the Soviets were, but they kind of zipped their lips eventually and kind of went with the general consensus, which was that Nazis were bad. Nazis were worse than communists, worse than Russians, worse than Russian strongmen. And I, you know, I think that's the case here. I mean, Putin is arguably more powerful than they are, but I just don't think we can really play favorite. I mean, it's hard to sort of unwind and back up from all the interference and involvement the U.S. has already had. But God, you got to start somewhere. I mean, we're just adding fuel to a fire. It's not. It feels like there's no way out.
All right. It feels like, Anders, you're taking a historical view of things. Yes. In the sense that it's never worked out for us to do the kind of shit that we're doing. But what if it works this time? Have you thought about that? Come on.
That's the question. Yeah.
But what if? Okay. No, I don't really have anything to add to that other than to say, like, that's sort of like the state of the discourse right now. People somehow are convincing themselves they want more intervention. You know, all right. How about this angle? In the United States, I don't know if I could pull this up quickly enough. There are lots of these rallies going on, and they're very confused rallies. All right, a lot of in Toronto, the deputy PM and the mayor of Toronto were found holding a scarf of the Banderite flag. Oh, I found it right the fuck away. Right away.
Oof.
All right, let me pull this up.
That's not a Ford anymore, is it? The
Say
mayor
what?
of Toronto now?
Say who?
The current mayor of Toronto. Who is? Because I know it's not Rob Ford anymore.
I don't know. It's this guy.
He died.
He's dead, so it's definitely not the dead guy. I will say that. I can't specifically. I don't know their name. I'm sorry. But that's sort of what's happening there. Oh, and by the way, this is the deputy PM circled here on the left. Her grandfather was a Nazi fucking journalist or something like that in Hungary. Right. I'm sorry, in Ukraine. What the fuck's wrong with my brain? And that's a very weird thing. They've known about that for at least 20 years. It's been made public, and here they are holding the Banderite flag. Holy fucking shit, dude! They oversaw ethnic cleansing. They killed like over 150,000 Poles, and then that flag also flew over Jewish pogroms in Ukraine. What the fuck, man? She knows.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. That's been like an open secret, but she refuses to address it, right?
Sort of. She dances around it, and then that's not it. In Chicago, this is in Ukrainian Village. There's a little neighborhood called Ukrainian Village. My governor, J.B. Pritzker, second richest man in the state, I believe, and Mayor Lori Lightfoot, our mayor. You know her? She's got the great hats. And
I hear she has a big dick. Did you see that? That little leak where she said this to, I forget who it was.
Someone mentioned that in chat. I have no idea what they meant. Now I get it. Ew. She did? What the fuck, man? She's so weird. Okay. You can see she's flanked, and the governor and the mayor are flanked by two Banderite flags in the back. And the rallies themselves are not only infiltrated by Nazis, and no, that doesn't make everyone a Nazi. It makes some. I feel bad for them, right? They're like, they want to lend solidarity to this movement.
Yeah, but if I had seen that flag when I was, 24.
Excuse me. Thanks for the subby, Eskasson.
: D.
That's Twitch, baby.
Congratulations.
Thanks for the 10 months, buddy.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, if I had seen that flag when I was 24, I remember getting a flag at a rally that looked sort of like that, red and black, anarcho-communist. I was like, cool.
It's diagonal.
So,
the biggest difference is it's diagonal
that's true.
for the flag people, yeah.
I easily could have made that mistake.
Right?
It's a good way to own people. It's kind of like that.
Own people, O-U-N people. Was that a riff on own?
Sure. Let's say it was.
Let's go with it.
No, I remember there was some one of these conservative prank guys who was going around college campuses getting people to sign a petition against women's suffrage because it just sounds bad. Women's suffrage.
I hate to see them suffer. Yeah.
Yeah, and so they got a bunch of feminist college students to sign this thing, and it just reminds me of this.
That is so dumb. Groucho Marxism, huh?
Yeah.
Nice. You love to see it. All right. So, and I'll just also mention that not only are these rallies infiltrated by fucking Nazis, and I'll pull one more up where they're literally, they got the Banderite flag with Bandera burnt into it. You know what I mean? They're also just very confused. They're like some people are holding up anti-war signs. Some people are holding up pro-U.S. intervention signs. Like, can y'all figure the fuck out? Like, what do y'all want? They're like, anti-war. Also, let's give us a no-fly zone. What do you think?
Yeah, it's difficult because, I totally understand and sympathize with the impulse to want to express solidarity with the Ukrainian people who have been, railroaded by this whole thing.
Yes.
Over, decades at this point. But yeah, you got to be careful who you're aligning with and what the sort of grander scheme is behind the events you're attending. It's that Guggenheim thing did you see this with the paper airplanes where they throw all these paper to support a no-fly zone, all these artists in New York just have no idea what they're supporting ostensibly, or they do know and they just want World War III. It's a scary time where that has quickly become sort of the mainstream progressive position is to agitate for more conflict and more war, as if that's going to solve it. And it's difficult because there is no easy answer. It's easy to sort of say, as I think they should do, that the U.S. should try their hardest to broker a peace deal, but that's not an overnight solution either. But it's much better than this, which is escalating situation. And Biden at this point seems to be cool on a no-fly zone, but with enough popular pressure, that could change, and that's a scary thing that people are advocating that.
They just seem to apply things that they've heard of in the past, and they're like, "Hey, let's do it here," and they don't know what it means. And we sort of agree. It sort of means butting the United States, a global fucking military giant, against another one, and they both have nukes, and that's not good, to put it lightly.
If they wanted to send fly swatters and fly traps and those sticky things to Ukraine and make it like that kind of no-fly zone, I think that could be a good compromise. But shooting down planes is probably not a good place to start.
Yeah, because that's what that means. It means putting probably U.S. jets over Ukraine.
Yeah, air war.
And then we could finally test the Ghost of Kiev's metal.
Right. That was. And I've heard different things. That turned out to be fake.
Come on.
Was it actually a ghost and we don't know for real? Or
I think calling it ghost should have been our biggest tip-off. No, I don't believe that. But who knows? Who the fuck knows? That's the point. We don't know. That's why I generally just don't believe shit coming out of a war zone.
Right.
Yeah.
Very hard to tell.
Very hard to tell. Fog of war, etc.
Yeah, we're probably not going to get a full accounting of this until years later.
Right. And if you're gonna jump into the game of trying to talk about what's happening live as it's happening, it's like baseball at that point. Like, you're gonna swing, you're gonna miss sometimes, you know.
Yep.
We won't find out till years later. So it's like that really humbles me, and I honestly worry how many fucking mistakes I'm making now. I won't know till later. But
I mean, I'm still got some humble pie in my teeth from the fact that this invasion is happening in the first place. So that should, you know, at least people on sort of our, I hesitate to call it a side, but our sort of milieu who didn't.
Yeah.
I don't know about you. I didn't think this would happen.
I didn't know anything about it until it happened. So sadly I get to give myself that cover. I'm like a fucking coward. I'll be honest. I don't have any like teeth in the game in that sense. But come on, like, you can't blame yourself. I don't give a shit. Why would anyone care about that? Who do you care about that cares about that? But go on. Excuse me.
Who cares about like what being
yeah,
right?
like you also just, you know, you're saying you just didn't see Russia invading. So many fucking other people were saying, like, endless amounts of experts were saying that. You know, it is convenient for me to be able to point to like a couple experts or whatever that were like, hey, this is what I think will happen, you know, as I'm trying to piece it together on my own. But I don't think I don't take anyone seriously who like is like mad at anyone else, being like, oh, you were wrong about that. Like, no one. I don't think anyone takes that seriously.
Right,
and I'll just put it that way.
It's unfortunate because it's being used to, you know, the people who could have seen it, who said they saw it coming, and went by what U.S. intelligence was saying, which historically is not the most reliable source for anything.
Exactly.
That, you know, they're letting this sort of justify further escalation, which they want to take place, and that is that sucks. You know, that happened to be right about this, and then that's therefore justifying making it a worse and worse situation, which,
yeah,
you know, in hindsight, there's probably blind spots and things where we could have seen you know, this coming, but I don't see the outcome that people think is going to happen, that we're just going to like declare a no-fly zone and then this will be over, easy peasy lemon squeezy. You know, that's bringing things in that direction is very dangerous. It's at least the odds of a nuclear exchange. I don't know the probability on that, but it's way closer than it should be, right? As long as there are nukes in the equation, we should try to back up, take a pause, see what we can do to completely avoid that sort of situation from happening.
That seems absolutely reasonable. I wonder what it is, the fucking sickos that like just want to rush to picking a fucking side. Like they just don't see how they're sort of feeding in to it. And it just really bugs the shit out of me. And of course, like again, like I'm new to the story, so I don't have and I don't have any skin in the game. But still, as someone who's like trying to just understand and improve my understanding of what's happening in the world, and of course, this is the fucking war. Why would you pick a fucking side? What the fuck is going on? It gets really frustrating. You could just see those people coming at you from a mile away. Again, they want to call you like a Putin apologist or whatever. It's just like blah 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 blah. You hear the I hear the same fucking thing in my chat every day when we're talking about anything at any amount of nuance. And the thing is, well, it doesn't justify invasion. And I'm like, why the fuck do you think I'm justifying war crimes over here? I literally had someone in my Twitter mentions this morning dying on that fucking hill. They're like, oh, Dan, I can't remember what the fuck it was, but they were pretty much like, you're doing Putin apologia, and you're talking about the Nazis. I was talking about you only talk about the Nazis and blah, I can't remember. Like my brain's falling off the tracks over here, Anders. But like they seem to think that like that's the only thing. There's no fucking nuance. It's either like you are pro-Russia or you're pro-Ukraine. And I'm like, no, I don't like war crimes. I want this to de-escalate as quickly as fucking possible. And I don't know. They're the sickos that I think want to like rush to like pick a side. It's boggling my mind. This is my first like war that I've like covered, with any amount of seriousness in like a public fashion. And, I'm trying to do it responsibly, and it feels like I'm losing my goddamn mind. Okay. Anders, do you have any response to that? Otherwise, yeah.
Right. Yeah. I mean, this is, of course, there are the like 2 or 3 people in the grand scheme of things who are putting, Russian flags in their
Yeah.
profile pictures and stuff.
Not many. No one
yeah,
I like, no one I'm like, yeah, you're the best, right? No one I'm on the side of. Go on, excuse me.
right. Like you can say those people are out there, but the extent to which they're being sort of elevated and used as sort of emblematic as a broader trend on the left. I mean, that's I guess that's it's just such a small amount of people, but it's already being sort of trotted out as this problem, right? To where that's being conflated with the DSA's position. Which has been written about now in the New York Times and the Nation, and like, does DSA have a Putin problem or whatever? And it's just not conducive to really engaging in good faith with the arguments against NATO.
Exactly. Fuck NATO and fuck the EU. Am I right? Victoria Newlands.
I think so.
Yeah. Okay, so let me shift gears just a little bit. I was just sort of talking about, how it's my first war to be like covering live. I'm trying to be responsible. I'm trying like not to do like things that I think I see other people doing, which is like really indulging in that. I'm patting myself on the back, but I'm trying to explain, I guess. I see what I'm doing, but a lot of people are like showing a lot of things, videos and stuff that are like happening, supposedly happening live. They're buying into the Ghost of Kiev. They're buying into the Snake Island. They're buying into all these things that are just being unraveled, and there's weird shit on both sides, I think. But okay, with that context, and so I'm trying to be responsible in that sense, and I'm also, as you have probably gotten the vibe over here, it's like edutainment. I'm trying to educate others and myself, you know what I mean? And I'm also trying to keep it light, so I do joke around, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You, again, sadly, well, that was your jambalaya over there on Redacted Tonight, and hey, did I ask did you mention that you're gonna be doing more stand up in the coming months, or did I imagine someone else told me that?
Yeah, I've every intention to keep doing stand up.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna be in DC probably until May. But yeah, I'll keep people posted with dates.
Right.
When I have shows coming up.
So we definitely can be looking forward to more of it. Sadly, again, not on Redacted Tonight. Okay, so here's where I'd like to ask maybe guidance, maybe a little insight here. How does one responsibly joke about things like this? And let's just start there. Like, what do you have like a mindset when you go into this, or do you just does it just? I don't know how to ask. I don't even know how to ask the question. I should have been more prepared. But yeah, how does one responsibly make light of situations like this without getting too far, going too edgy, being irresponsible, hurtful even, but also like maintaining a sense of humor, I guess?
Yeah, it's a good question. Right. I think one of the, and I don't call this a rule, but sort of a guideline, is to try and punch up. Which again, I don't think is a universal rule. There are times where you can make a joke that's arguably punching down. It's not like a law of gravity or anything, but especially when you're talking about like a war or something really dark, if you're making fun of the victims of that war, that's going to be difficult to get people on board, and just finding sort of the humor in the propaganda, right? Making fun of what people are saying about it and how people are spinning it in the United States and stuff like that. There are ways to sort of avoid the conflict, the brutal nature of war itself, and just kind of find other sort of things that are attached to it that are funny. But yeah, it is difficult to handle dark subjects. So you can always find an audience who has a really dark sense of humor who wants to hear about that stuff. But I guess that's sort of the guideline we tried to abide by, is like, addressing sometimes that this is a really dark situation and how it is difficult to make light of it, and also just focusing on the way it's like spun, because that often is just pretty absurd on its face.
Okay, well, let's go there. Let's maybe talk about the most egregious examples of how this war is being spun. I mean, I think we could point to, I think Abby Martin's done a really good job of pointing to the disgusting Eurocentrism that we've seen. Oh my gosh, it's a war with people with blonde hair and blue eyes. Oh my gosh, this is real now. You know what I mean? Sort of that kind of thing. I've seen countless examples of people just willing to ignore the U.S. Arming Nazis, and they go, oh, well, there's Nazis on the other side too. I'm like, yeah, well, are we arming them? Are they folded into their actual National Guard in like a very public fucking way? Can you imagine being a leftist, a young man like you and me, Anders, we're very young, and being like conscripted in like Ukraine to fucking fight, and you know that there's fucking Nazis in the National Guard? You're like, what? Am I going to be on the Nazi battalion? Am I going to be fighting side by side these motherfuckers? Like, what the actual fuck here, right? Can you imagine that? Lots of weird takes out there. And again, I think the seeds have been planted for a long time in terms of how this rhetoric, these like fucking psyops, which I don't know. I feel like we're getting like unprecedented levels of psyops right now. It's like wartime, and it's not just shooty war. It's psyops war as well. All right, let's just let you take it away from there. What do you think, Anders?
Yeah, well, like we were saying earlier, it's difficult to know what to believe at this point, and I think just sort of taking a break and waiting for things to reveal themselves is the smart way to go.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there's definitely stuff that is blatant propaganda that can be made fun of and scrutinized, and I think comedy and satire is a good tool for that.
I think so. All right. Well, let me go ahead, Anders, and we can start winding down here. I want to respect your time. I told you about an hour. Let's let me ask: is there anything else that like you wanted to talk about today? Anything else sort of like on your mind? Generally speaking, we just wanted to get to know you a little bit, share your story, lend you our support. We really, we're Team Anders over here. We want you to land on your feet. Anytime I show a fucking RT video, there's like one or two or three people that just like trip balls. Their mind fucking short circuits. Sometimes I'll literally I'll cover up the RT with like a little black thing. It's like a little bit. I'm like, maybe this will help you to like unshort circuit your dumb fucking brain, you goddamn libs. They just don't want to see things. They just want to like just shut it off. And I'm like, you're doing yourself a disservice. Where am I going with this? Yeah. What else do you want to? What else did you want to mention today?
Well, yeah, I think people should understand about RT is that we were not like censored. If it was Russian propaganda, I think it was frankly pretty bad Russian propaganda, because we mostly talked about the United States and problems with our own country. I understand the purpose behind the network is to present Americans with an alternative viewpoint that in some ways aligns with Russian interests, right? To have the U.S. sort of try and back off from running the world might benefit the Russian government in some ways, but that's not really what I was advocating. I wasn't spinning things on behalf of the Russian government. I wasn't, making Putin look like a hero. We talked about problems in America that people I know face, that I face, and yeah, we were not a lot of the sort of things I hear about working in corporate media. It sounds a lot more restrictive than what I experienced at RT. I was never told you have to say this, you can't say that. So, there's probably more. It's probably a freer source of information than what you're getting from like NBC or BBC or PBS.
Yeah, and it's a real fucking shame that that we won't get to enjoy that anymore. All right.
Indeed.
Yeah, indeed. Anders, I want to let you know how much I appreciate you. Thank you so much for coming by.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you for sharing your story again with us and for helping us to see how the war isn't just about the shooty. It's about and the people affected by that, and that's really fucking awful. That's why we want the war to end as soon as possible. But it's also it ripples throughout the entire world, and it's rippled all the way back around to a comrade of ours, and our hearts go out to you, Anders. Thank you again for coming by today. Appreciate it again.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks for having me.
Let's talk again sometime soon, I hope. Okay. All right.
Cool.
All right. Bye now.
Good.
All right.
Thanks.
That's Anders Lee. We're a big fan of. Hold on.